Okay, so today is Thursday, November 21st, and today I learned about a few kind of helpful reminders that help in different situations that you can be in, and just like two different things you can, not two, but like different things you can think about when you're in different situations. So let me explain this. Basically, I was thinking about how in a problem solving perspective, in a learning perspective, and in a growth perspective, in those three topics, there are two keywords, I guess, that you can think of within each of those that will help you with your goal, like help you problem solve or help you learn or help you grow in something. So I've talked about this in a previous video, and I'll link that video in the description as well as at the end of this video, but that's in terms of learning. When you're learning, there is the knowledge part of it, and there's the application part of it, right? So briefly, like when you're doing school, right? Not only do you need to just like absorb that information and absorb the knowledge and actually understand it, but you also obviously you can only ever really truly learn something when you apply it to your actual life or apply it to some life problem, right? So that's why we have like homework. That's why we have tests and like all that kind of thing. We're learning better when we apply it. So in terms of learning, you need to have the knowledge, and then you also need to have the application. But I've talked about that in another video, so I'll have that linked in the description as well as at the end of this video. So the other two, which is growth and problem solving, are the two that I was thinking more or learning more about today. In terms of problem solving, I think the two parts to problem solving is efficiency and effectiveness. So I'm taking a computer science course right now, and I'm learning about like algorithms and like understanding how efficient an algorithm is. And it's just that's kind of how I came up with the efficiency and effectiveness part of it. And also I've just been thinking about those two words a lot recently. So yeah, like when you're solving a problem, there's the efficiency part of it and there's the effectiveness part of it, and you need both, right? Obviously the more important part is the effectiveness. Like if you need to solve a problem, it needs to be an effective solution, right? So all solutions need to be effective, but ideally you want both. Ideally you want it to not only do the job, but do it quickly and do it efficiently, right? So that's kind of the whole point of like computer science and stuff. Like you have these problems and these algorithms, and you're trying to use the right one and trying to be as efficient and effective as possible. Additionally, I think that everything can be made more efficient. Yeah, no matter how high you are on the ladder, I think things can still be made more efficient, like no matter where you are. So when you're just starting out, you just have a solution that's effective, you can make it more efficient. And even if you do have a more efficient solution, how can you make it even more efficient? So I do think that you can always make things more efficient, but effectiveness, I was actually thinking about this yesterday. Effectiveness is kind of like true false kind of thing. It's just like 1-0. It's just like, does it work? Is it there? Like, does it exist? But then the efficiency is the variable part. It's kind of like on a spectrum, like slow versus fast kind of thing. So when you're solving a problem, you need it to be effective, most importantly, but also you want to try to make it as efficient as possible. And you can do that. You can make it efficient throughout the different parts of your process. So like there's lots of different ways to analyze your problems, like input, output. You can analyze like what part of the input can I make faster? What part of the output can I make faster? That kind of thing. And just like analyze the different parts of your solution and the different parts of the situation to try to make it more efficient. And then lastly, this is kind of mostly what I was thinking about today, is the growth part, and how growth can be separated into quality and into quantity. Because with growth in anything, you need both. You can't just have one. If you just have quality, let's say I'm going to use YouTube as an example, if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you can't just post one video and like automatically be successful and never have to like do anything ever again, right? Obviously, like if it's really quality, you still need the quantity. Now that's obviously an exaggeration, but also the other side is the same too. Like you can't just be like, even for me, I can't just be posting videos every single day and then just hoping that I grow even though I'm not changing anything, right? You need to have both. And obviously doing one or the other will get you to a certain point, but only to that certain point. And if you want to truly grow and to truly like reach new heights kind of thing, then you need both the quality and the quantity. I feel like it's easier when you're starting out, it's easier to focus on the quantity and then slowly add the quality. And it's a better transition that way. So like when I was working out, I focused only on just making sure I was consistent with my workouts. And then I slowly increased the quality and made sure I actually had good workouts. And I wasn't just working out just to work out. But the thing is, you need both, right? If you want to like truly grow, you need both. And today I like really didn't want to work out. So I was thinking about this and I was thinking, okay, quality and quantity. I have gotten the quantity down. Like I have been consistent with working out, right? So if I work out today, then all I need to do is have the quality. And yes, I had a shorter workout. Technically in like the smaller scale, I had less quantity. I shortened my workout, but I still had a very quality workout. And because I was able to incorporate both, I was still able, like I would still say it was a good workout, even though it might not have been like as intense or as long as my normal workouts, because the length of something does not determine the quality. Like just because you worked out for 2 hours does not mean that you're going to be stronger than the person who worked out for 30 minutes. Because like if your form was terrible and your quality was really bad, then that doesn't mean that just because you did it for 2 hours, it's going to be better, right? If you do something wrong more, that's going to give you a lot less gains and even could possibly even like negate your effects than if you just had a shorter thing that was more quality, right? I think if you want the most improvements, you need quality, but if you want long-term improvements, then you need quantity. So, how can we apply this, right? If you're learning something, let's say school, or you're trying to learn a skill, I'm trying to learn YouTube, or I'm trying to be better at YouTube, right? And what are the two parts to learning? The knowledge part and the application part. So how can you get the knowledge? When I'm trying to learn about YouTube, I'm watching lots of videos. I'm watching like the people from YouTube and like the algorithm people, and figuring out like, okay, how does YouTube work? Like defining it, right? I need to make a video about this, just like analyzing it, figuring out like why, what, how, defining it, understanding in that sense. And then I need to apply it. So I need to take that knowledge. If just because you have knowledge doesn't mean that you have a change, right? So you need to actually apply that knowledge. So like when I'm learning about YouTube, I need to actually apply that knowledge that I learn into my videos and ultimately incorporate that to try to make my videos better, right? If I have a problem with my YouTube, let's say my problem with YouTube, the other day I was trying to post a video and it was just my export. When I exported my video, the file got corrupted, but I didn't know that the file was corrupted, and I was really confused on why it wouldn't upload to YouTube. And so I needed to find the solution for that. I needed it to be effective, and I wanted it to be efficient. So I was like, normally when that kind of thing happens, I thought it was a storage problem, so I started deleting stuff. And then I started deleting like the footage for the video and like the project files and stuff, because I was like, oh, I already have the export, so I'm fine, right? But I wasn't fine. I thought that was an effective solution to my problem, but then it actually wasn't, and then I realized the file was corrupted, and I needed to re-edit the entire video, so that had to be my effective solution. I had to re-edit the entire video and re-export everything, because for some reason it didn't export right the first time. So yeah, it was not efficient at all, but it had the effective solution. And then last thing, like I said, like with my YouTube growth, I started out with quantity, and now I'm trying to add that quality on top of it. So if you want to like truly have like raise your gains and like truly have lots of gains, you need both quality, quantity. You need both effective and efficient. You need both knowledge and application, because without one or the other, then you're going to be hindered, and you ultimately they go hand in hand, right? The last thing that I wanted to say is that how does this apply to a Christian perspective, right? Because I'm trying to incorporate that more into my videos, and I feel like this is the perfect example of that. All three of these things are things that can be applied in a Christian lifestyle. So in terms of the learning part, when you're trying to learn from the Bible, not only do you need to know the Bible, you need to memorize it, you need to know where, like, what verses are where, and just like understand it. But you also, obviously, you need to apply it, because just because you read the Bible doesn't mean that you're going to apply it. Like, doesn't mean that you're going to live it out. So you need to live it out. You need to be active in applying the word. In terms of problem solving, like when you have sin, you need an effective solution and you need an efficient solution. Now, in that kind of situation, there's really only one solution to that, and that's just praying and like fighting your flesh and like doing all that kind of thing, because those are all effective and it's more efficient than trying to rely on yourself and trying to rely on your own abilities. And then lastly, in terms of growth, you're trying to like ultimately be sanctified and like grow through that. You need the quality and the quantity. So like when you're a young believer, like I feel like I'm kind of a young Christian kind of thing. I need those reps of like fighting my flesh and like being tested and that kind of thing. And then ultimately, like it says in the Bible, I forget what verse it is, I'll put it up on the screen. He gives us the trials that are like that match up with our abilities. So ultimately, as you grow, he's going to give you harder things, and he's going to, like, God is going to give you harder things and in a way more quality reps. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to mention. That's what I learned today. The 3 kind of dualities, I guess, of learning, problem solving, and growth. That you need all of these if you want to do whichever one of those. So I hope that made sense. If you like this video, then definitely hit the like button. If you want to see more, then definitely subscribe, because I'm posting every single day talking about what I learned that day and how I'm trying to apply it to my life and how you guys can apply it to yours. So if you want to see those kinds of videos, then definitely subscribe. This is the video that I mentioned talking about more about like knowledge and application. You can subscribe in that corner. And if you subscribe, then I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.